매후의 꼴따르고 이태리야.
Hey, everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that opener was Vitalik. Of course, yes, Devcon. It's the ETH conference for developers, thinkers, and makers, and it wouldn't be a Devcon without Vitalik singing and dancing, would it? All right, Monica Long, the president of Ripple, just completed Singapore FinTech, and she gave an interview to CNBC, no mention of XRP, but heavily focused on the RLUSD, which is the new stablecoin that's coming. And yeah, I just want you to have a listen.
US dollar stablecoins, or actually I should say stablecoins generally, are about $170 billion in terms of market cap today. But that's projected to be, north of $3 trillion in just a few years because there's going to be more demand drivers like payments. We saw Stripe acquire Bridge very recently. That's a major payment player that's leaning into using stablecoins for payments. We talk about, Ripple, and, we've processed more than $70 billion through digital assets. And so this use case is going to be a massive trend, and there's going to be more needs in the market for more stable coins. And, from our perspective, we have the use case. We have customers who already want to use stable coins in payments. So we think that we can be a great provider.
Do you expect the market to expand? Or do you expect to compete with these two stable coins to break into their existing client base?
I expect the market to really expand. And I will say, so the Ripple US dollar, not yet launched. We're operationally ready, but really important to us is having approval from the regulators. So New York Department of Financial Services is, it's up to them. They're reviewing our trust application.
And when do you see that coming through?
It's going to be in their hands in terms of when they are approving it.
Okay, but since most stable coins are pegged to the US dollar and most transactions of stable coins happen in the US dollar, do you think that de-dollarization could be the way forward, where a lot of as new stable coins come in, as the enthusiasm around a new payments infrastructure builds, that we might see the euro find its place with new stablecoins launched pegged against the euro, or new stablecoins launched pegged against the yen, the Sing dollar. Can that market expand? Can de-dollarization happen there in the stablecoin market?
I believe so. And it comes back to, use cases like payments, where you think about, traditional use cases, and there's real need for foreign exchange there. So I do think that we'll see new forms of fiat currency turned into stable coins. There's certain markets, like for example, we see in Latin America, where there is a preference for a US dollar stable coin. But, I do think that the world will open up to more types of stable coins.
XRP had a pump just under 70 cents, but as you can see, when it reached that 69 and some fraction, it totally fell off the cliff and continued to make lower lows until it is now just really in the last hour has become more stable at the 64-65 mark. So I'm not sure, Bitcoin has retraced a bit. It's taking a breather. So I think until that liquidity comes back, we'll probably see a little sideways action here. This next clip is incredibly interesting because I guess this is Trump's leading pick for Treasury Secretary. Wow. Billionaire hedge fund investor Scott Bessent. Very pro-crypto. And I just can't believe how pro-Bitcoin. If we get someone like this in for the Treasury Secretary, we will definitely have a Bitcoin reserve to fight against the current deficit. I just don't have any doubts. Have a listen.
I've been excited about the president's embrace of crypto, and I think it fits very well with the Republican Party, the ethos of crypto is about freedom, and the crypto economy is here to stay. The Democrats are running from it because they're trying to wash off the stench of Sam Bankman-Fried and his family's donations to the Democratic Party. So they're willing to take down a whole industry because of bad behavior on their part, bad behavior one actor. And I think that everything's on the table with Bitcoin. And to me, one of the most exciting things about Bitcoin is for a generation of investors who maybe post the great financial crisis have been looking for investment opportunities, or maybe they'd soured on markets. Crypto is bringing in young people. It's bringing in the people who haven't participated in markets, and having a market culture in the U.S. and people believing that markets work for them is a centerpiece of capitalism.
Ripple, the company, has bet the farm on Axelar to bring that interoperability into other ecosystems, Ethereum, Cosmos, and beyond. And today there was a live stream coming from Devcon with the co-founder of Axelar, and boy, you want to listen to what he says. Not only his vision is important to understand, but also he had some surprising insight as to how many chains he thinks there's going to be in blockchain.
Blockchain technology itself is just hard as it is. You have to set up a wallet, like self-custody. There's already so many barriers. And in a world where, I frankly believe there's going to be like more than 1 million chains, having people just bridge every time they need to use a new application, a new chain, is just going to be a horrible user experience, right? So with Axelar, our vision from day one has been chain abstraction. How do we allow people to just have to think about assets and applications, right? So in your phone, you're going to have one interface. Maybe it's a wallet, maybe it's something else. Who knows what the end state is? But people should only have to think about their assets, their applications, and whether they're using, the Uniswap chain or the Aave chain or Monad. That should all be abstracted away, right? And not have to think about that. So that's the problem we're trying to solve with Axelar.
Within the top 100 by market cap, the 3 top gainers, EOS Network, Dogecoin, and Kronos. And Dogecoin just keeps pushing it. It's up 126% on the 7-day. And there's some exciting news coming from Flare Networks for the Doge. Hugo said when he first announced that Dogecoin was going to become an FAsset, many thought he was bonkers. You know what? I think those of you who have followed me for the years that I have been talking about, if the community believes Dogecoin has value, then it does. Well, I can see now that I was on the right side of history again, because it does have value to many people. And who are you to say that it doesn't? This is a project that people love. So get over your hate for Doge. As Hugo goes on to say, Doge is now the highest value token after Bitcoin without smart contracts. And Flare is going to give it that interoperability. Many have asked me, how high do I think SUI can go? Well, it's not that easy to make a price projection, but I will tell you another project that I'm looking at that could possibly be a mirror. That's Aptos. And the reason why is because it's got the same DNA. It came from parts of a team that was also in the Facebook Libra. So it launched about 8 months before SUI did. And you can see that Aptos is now trading at $12. So I don't know. I think that if you have any sort of projection, you have to be able to compare it to something that is most similar. And I would say that Aptos, being in the Move language, having the DNA from much of the same team, but they just split and went off into their their own projects. This is the best I can give you in terms of that prediction. Let's hear just about 2 minutes from the SUI team on a brand new interview that was given yesterday. And I think you're going to better understand why this is such an exciting project to watch.
Will SUI flip Sol in TVL by next year?
I think, look,
1 year, 12
Sol's
months.
Sol's done a really good job. I'm a big fan of the Sol team, by the
Yeah.
way, just so you know.
Yeah.
We're about 1.1 billion TVL. If you look at the growth trajectory of SUI and compare and contrast it to Sol, SUI is way, way, way ahead in terms of growth, in terms of its cycle, right? So, you know, it's unfair to compare SUI to Sol in a very short space of time. But I believe, look, if we do what we're doing and deliver, which we've always have, I believe we'll be the number one chain. You know, right now there are 25,000 active devs in the space. We want SUI Move to have 25,000 active devs, right? Like, forget about like Web3, that number is too small. Like, keep trying to take market share away from existing chains. That's not really helpful. We want 25,000 active devs in Move as a whole, and that's going to be a tall order, but that's going to be something we're going to be driving our team towards as a whole. So all Move blockchains, right now, all Move blockchains are probably about close to 2 billion. I think we'll see a good 10x between now and next year.
10x
of that.
10x in TVL.
Yeah. Single submissions, we benchmark SUI to be about 297,000 transactions per second in the configuration we have in mainnet now. And we think that number is going to go up. That's without adding more machines. We think that number is going to go up, where the single submission will go from 10,000 to a much higher number, but even batch submissions will go even faster as well. So all in all, we're trying to optimize the existing core, get it way faster, and then we allow that to scale out with additional machines. I expect to see one of the most powerful consumer applications on SUI sometime next year. And I don't want to go into detail, but yeah, very, very excited about that.
I'm going to let some fall leaves take you out on a night train in Japan where they turn off the lights and light up the foliage so you can get the full vibrancy of the season. Until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.